Hello, hi students, welcome back. Today we are going to learn more about computers. Class 6, lesson number 1. Let us have a look. Topics in this lesson. Introduction, types of computers, microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, supercomputers. Computer language, what kind of language does computer use, like low level language and high level language. Computer capabilities, limitations of computers. These are the topics we are going to be discuss in this lesson. Introduction. Today, the development of computers is at its peak and computers are used in large variety of areas of work. We saw the classification of computers as per their generation. However, now we will list the classification of computers as per their usage. Based on the usage, computers are classified into 5 groups. Let us see what are those 5 groups. And this lesson I already taught you in class. This is kind of revision, and those who are joined newly, that will be benefit for those new students. Types of computers: microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. What are all these computers where we are using these computers? Let us have a look. Types of computers. In this, first we are going to discuss about what are microcomputers. Modern desktop computers, video game consoles, laptops, tablet PCs, and many type of handheld devices, including mobile phones, pocket calculators, and industrial embedded systems, may all be considered as examples of microcomputers according to the definition given above. That means you can, whatever the products you are using, like mobile phones, tablets, computers, laptops, these are all comes under into the microcomputers. In type of computers, next one is mini computers. A mini computer is also called as a mid-range computer. Mini computers are mainly used multi-users systems where more than one user can work simultaneously. Mini computer examples: IBM AS400E, Honeywell 200, TI 900. Mini computer can support multi-users at a time. You can say that mini computer is called multi-processing system. That means at a time we can do more work within a time. That means, see here, mini computers also called as mid-range systems or workstations. They contain one or more microprocessor. Mini computers can be used to handle processor for many users simultaneously. Use different software application development. Examples are IBM computers. These are called examples of mini computers. In types of computers, next one is mainframe computers. Mainframe computers or mainframes, colloquially referred to as big iron, are computers used primarily by large organizations for critical applications, bulk data processing such as census, industry and consumer strategies, and enterprise resource planning and transaction processing. That means these systems are used in mainly where very large organizations like railway systems and banking systems and hospitals, big hospitals. These types of computers are used because they need to handle lot of data, so much data they need to handle. So not ordinary systems will be able to work, so they use mainframe computers. They are very big. And last one is supercomputers. In types of computers, a supercomputer is a computer with a high level of performance as compared to general purpose computer. Computer of supercomputer is commonly measured in floating point operations per second instead of million instructions per second. For example, weather forecasting requires a supercomputer. Other uses for supercomputer including animated graphics, fluid dynamic calculations, nuclear energy research, and petroleum exploration. In these organizations or in these places, they are using the supercomputers. They told you, first one is like weather forecasting. To get the weather news or weather reporting, they required supercomputers. Next one is computer language. First one is low level language and next one is high level language. The main difference between high level language and low level language is that a low level language is a type of program language that contains basic instructions recognized by the computer. A high level language is a programming language such as C, Fortran, Pascal that enable programmer to write programs that are more or less independent of particular type of computer. Such languages are considered high level because they are closer to human languages and further from machine languages. That means simply Low level language is very close to computers. That means computers can understand those languages. But in the high level language, users means we can also understand those high level languages. For example, C language, Java language, .NET language, these all can be understood by us. But low level language means that binary code, 0 1 0 1, these are all, we can't understand that code. Only computer can understand. That is called low level language. Differences between high level and low level languages. High level languages are easy to learn. Low level languages are difficult to learn because all zeros and one it will be there, so it is very difficult to learn. High level languages are near to human languages. That means human can understand these high level languages. Low level languages are far from human languages. That means it will be little bit difficult. Translator is required. That means translator is required. No translator is required. Translator means, suppose I am writing here in Java or in any C program or any program we are writing. Then suppose you are writing how are you. That required translator means notepad is there. Notepad is one kind of translator. Next one is programs in high level languages are slow in execution. It will take little bit time to execute. But programs in low level languages are very fast in execution. They are very fast. What is assembly language? An assembly language is a low level language. That means it is very close to computers. Okay, it's a low level programming language designed for specific type of processor. However, in some cases assembly code can be used to fine tune a program. For example, a program may write a specific process in assembly language to make sure it functions as efficient as possible. That means if you are writing the program in assembly language, that means it is a machine language, then it makes sure that it should function efficiently as possible. That is called assembly language. Simple features of assembly language: it is a instruction set. That means instruction set means set of instructions is called a program. Like that, it is an instruction set. Machine dependent, that means it is dependent on the machine only, because whatever the writing you are writing the program, that will be written in computer machine only. You are not writing in book and pen and paper. You are not writing in book. So like that, instruction groups, group wise instruction you are giving to in the assembly language. These are the features of assembly language. Next one is fourth generation language, is also called as 4GL. Fourth generation language, computer programming language, are very close to human language. Then other high level languages are accessible to the people without formal training as programmers. That means suppose it is a very close to human, that means humans can understand. Suppose you are doing opening the paint and you are doing whatever you want to draw the square, there is a square option. If you want to draw the circle, there is a circle option. If you want to draw the triangle, you can draw there is a triangle. That means very close to the humans also can understand. So fourth generation language is also a programming language. They allow multiple common operations to be performed with a single programmer entered command. That means you can do at a time multiple common operation. That means you can paint it and you can do opening word files, you can type the Excel files also. That is called at a time. That is called fourth generation computers. Next one is translator program. Translator program takes a program written in source code language as input and converts into a program in target language as output. That means, see, computer language is binary language, like zeros and ones and zeros and one zeros. These are called binary language. We cannot understand. Suppose if the computer gives the output in zeros and ones, we cannot understand. So it requires translator. That is called translator program. What it will do, it will take zeros and ones and as input, and it will convert that one into one program, and it will show you as desired output. That means whatever you can understand, that output will be shown. That is called translators. The program written in high level language is known as source code. That means whatever the program you are writing, high level means it is very close to human. You are write one program, hi world, this is my first program. You will write in Microsoft Word, you will write leave letter. That is called source code. The code obtained after translation is called object code. You will write one code and it will translate into other code. That code is called object code. So here it will goes like this: source code, translator program, and after that it is called as object code. So these are called translator programs. There are three different kind of translator. First one is assembler. An assembler is a translator used to translate assembly level language to machine level language code. It is like a compiler for the assembly language but interactive like an interpreter. Assembly language is difficult to understand as it is a low level language programming. An assembler translates a low level language, an assembly language, to an even lower level language, which is the machine code. The machine code can be directly understood by the CPU. That means, what about this assembly level language means? It is a low level programming language which is can be understood by the CPU only. It is very difficult to understand because these zeros and ones, what is the text, we cannot understand. That can be understood by the CPU only. So that's why it is called assembly level language or low level language. Second type of translator is compiler. A compiler is a translator used to convert high level programming language to low level programming language. That means you are writing the program in computer. That code needs to be understood by the system. If you are writing how are you, then it should convert into the binary level language. Then the compiler will do that work. It will translate your code, high level programming language code, to machine level language. So this is the duty of compiler. It will just convert the high level language to low level language. It converts the whole program in one session and reports error detect after the conversion. That means first it will convert the all program at a time, then later on it will show the errors. Compiler takes time to do work as it is translate high level code to low level code at once, then saves it into memory. After conversion this high level code to low level code, then it will save that program into your memory. That means your memory means computer hard disk memory. And last kind of translator is called interpreter. Just like a compiler, a translator used to convert high level programming language to a low level programming language. It converts the program one at a time and reports error detected at once. While doing the conversion with this, it is easier to detect errors than a compiler. An interpreter is faster than compiler as it is immediately executes the code upon reading the code. That means it is also, interpreter is also a translator. It is used to convert same like compiler only, high level program to low level programming language. Then what is the specialty here? It converts the program one at a time. That means it will convert the program in one by one, step by step it will convert the program and report errors detect at once. If it is finds the errors, it will show immediately while doing the conversion. It is easier to detect errors than a compiler. Compiler, after all doing the program, then it will display the errors, but in this interpreter it will show one by one. In the first line if there is mistake, then it will show that it is a mistake is over here, like that. So it is very easier. Interpreter is faster than compiler. It is immediately execute the code upon reading the code. That means it will immediately execute the code. Differences between the compiler and interpreter. In compiler, perform transaction of a program as a whole. That means it will first read all the program at a time. But in interpreter, as we discussed, it will read the program one line by one line. That means statement by statement. Execution is faster in compiler, execution is slower in interpreter. Requires more memory as linking in need for generated intermediate object code. That means it requires more memory to save the program or this one. But it requires in interpreter, it requires very less space. Debugging is hard as error messages are generated after scanning the entire program only. But in interpreter, it will stop the translation. Suppose when it is translating, if it is find any error, it will stop. Debugging is easy. Wherever the error is there, it will stop immediately. Next one is programming languages like C, C++ uses compilers. That means programming language C and C++ languages are using the compilers. But programming languages like Python, Basic and Ruby uses interpreter. These programmings are using the interpreters. Last topic is compiler capabilities. First one is speed. Computers are much faster as compared to human beings. Yes, computers are obviously speed than human beings. Modern computer can execute millions of instructions in a minute that may take days if performed by manually. Suppose modern computers are performing millions of executions in a minute. So next one is accuracy. Accuracy means computer can perform into calculations and comparison accurately, means correctly. It will give values of including 0.0000 also it will give accurately, provided the hardware does not malfunction. Next one is high storage capability. Computer can store more data in very small space. Suppose 1 GB data, you need not to keep it in one room, but computer can keep that all data in single pen drive. That is very small. That is high storage capability. Not only 1 GB, it depends on the whether in TBs or GBs or like that. Reliability. Reliability means computers are more reliable than human beings because they never feel tired even if they have to work for very long hours. See, if any computer told to anyone that I am tired, please give some rest, no, because the reliability of the computer is more than human beings because they never used to feel tired. These are the capabilities of compiler. Okay student, that's all for today. Meet you in next class. Till then, take care, stay safe.